Salutations, fellow students! Are you familiar with the term social organization? In this lesson, we will enlighten you about that. Lend me your ears and share your insights to your peers.
Social group. It is consists of individuals who are united by their similar characteristics, and these characteristics serve as the basis of their constant interaction. However, not all individuals who share similar characteristics interact with one another, and this phenomenon is observed in social category.
There are basic classifications of social groups. The first one is social aggregates. In this, individuals gather in the same place but neither interacting nor sharing similar characteristics. We have several examples of social aggregates like mass gatherings, concerts, marathons, and so on.
Next one is social networks, wherein it consists of individuals who have dyadic relationships that are interacting with other relationships within a structure. Dyadic relationship consists of two elements or two people. Simply stated, a social network is a social structure consisting of people who have varying degree of relations and interrelationships.
A sociogram is a visual representation of the social networks present in one group or more. This was developed by Jacob Moreno, a psychotherapist in 1951, to understand the dynamic of the intersections of the social group. Example is individuals or peers within the structure like in school, church, or village.
When individuals congregate in groups, they create rules, boundaries, and loyalties that delineate from others. This delineation is a crucial contributor for the formation of unity and cohesion among members. And we have three types of human social groupings: the in-group, the out-group, and the reference group.
In-group. It is a social group in which an individual directly affiliates and expresses loyalty to. It has three primary characteristics that reinforce the boundary that it creates between its members and those coming from other groups. We shall take a look at each three primary characteristics.
Number 1. Members use titles, external symbol, and dress distinguish themselves from out group. For example, the group of people who are so-called judgments, the way they dress distinguishes themselves as a part in the group who has mutual understanding and unity.
Member apply positive stereotype to their in-group and negative stereotype to the out-group. So in general speaking, the in-group consists of the majority who defines who is normal and acceptable. Those who do not conform to the prescribed norms and considered part of that group. Just as a deviance is often punished by ostracism and discrimination. Individuals who fail to meet standards set by the in-group are bound to experiences being socially marginalized.
Last characteristic is members tend to clash or compete with members of the out-group. This competition with the other group can also strengthen the unity within each group. An example of this is rivalries among schools, which are highlighted during competitions in sports, quizzes, rankings, and etc. It tends to compete with outgroups, and school spirit is often intensified enough to the common desire of individuals in group to succeed against the opposing group.
The second part of human social grouping is the out-group, wherein an individual is not part of negative attributes are usually associated with individuals who are part of this group. Individuals from an out-group are usually considered as malevolent even if they are not, because members of the in-group perceive themselves as complex and diverse, while members of the out-group are described as a group without any differentiation.
For an instance, an individual who is part of an in-group of heterosexuals would consider those with different gender as part of the outgroup, without distinguishing what type of gender they have.
Now let us proceed to the reference group. An individual can shape by the set of behavior and beliefs of a group that such an individual considers as ideal, which is used by an individual as a standard to measure his or her own actions. The existence of the reference group can have two effects on individuals' self-evaluation.
When an individual receives a positive evaluation, he or she experiences the normative effect. On the contrary, when someone receives a negative self-evaluation, it more often results from the comparison effect. It has an individual who try to appraise their behavior based on its prescribed norms.
Now, let's tackle about group membership. Group membership has been a key element of fostering the development of the social nature and ideals of the individual. Each individual is a part of primary group and secondary group, from which he or she learns the culture of his or her society.
We have the primary group. It is directly sources of an individual's social skills and knowledge. The bonds that an individual forms with members of these groups extend over long periods of time. Examples of this are our family, peers, classmates, and churchmates. Due to the connection between the individual and the members of this group, primary relationships are formed from these social sets. As a familiarity is present in this relation, form of interaction and communication are often involved and holistic.
Another one is secondary group. It is more formal in context as the relationship and interaction in them are limited to particular role that an individual play within the group. For example, client, agent, researcher, tenant, landlord, and so on. This relationship is temporarily connected to mutual political.
The type and extent of human interaction is based on the size of each group. Small group is the type and extent of human interaction depends on the size of the group that they belong in. Family is an example of a small group. It often forms exclusivity as experience and ideas are strictly shared within the context of the small group.
The most cohesive and interacting small group is called Tayat, which consists of two individuals, and such relationship has potential for the formation of strong bonds due to the constant interactions that the individuals have. A small group of three individuals is called Triad. This type of small group has lesser cohesion than a Dyad because of the lesser personal connection that each individual has with the other members in the group. The cohesion of a group is directly related to a member or number of individuals subscribing to it.
Now, let us define what social organization is. It is created by individuals to foster a more direct relationship in secondary group setting.
Common example include universities, government, families, and any people or groups that you have social interaction with.
And that would be the end of our lesson for today. Bear in mind that a philosopher, Rollo May, once said that
no one can separate themselves from one social group and remain healthy because the very structure of personality is dependent on the community.